Hello, my name is Mike, and I am the co-founder of Colombian Visa Services, and today we are talking about the Colombian Marriage Visa. Now, a few key takeaways about the visa is that it is a migrant visa that allows foreigners married to Colombians the ability to live, work, and study in Colombia. The visa is granted for 1 to 3 years at a time, and the visa does put you on a path towards a resident visa and dual citizenship. Now, finally, the visa costs about $334 in government fees. So, who qualifies for the marriage visa? Applicants must be legally married to their Colombian partner, which means their relationship needs to be legally registered in Colombia. That means you were either married in Colombia or were married outside of the country and then later registered your marriage in Colombia. There is a separate visa type called the Pernament partner of a Colombian visa. It is safe to assume that just about every piece of this video will be the same, or at least very similar for the Pernament partner visa, except for two key differences. One, individuals who are married to a Colombian can apply for a visa as soon as they are married, while you must wait 365 days after your partnership to apply for the visa. And number two, while I'll go into more details about the path to citizenship later, with a marriage visa, you can apply for a resident visa in 3 years. With a permanent partnership, you can apply for a resident visa in 5 years. Now that we know who qualifies, what are the exact requirements? You'll need a passport that has at least 6 months of validity, a passport style photo, an official Colombian marriage certificate proving you're married to a Colombian, a letter signed by the Colombian spouse requesting this type of visa for the foreigner, and a special power of attorney signed and authenticated at the notary by the Colombian spouse. And finally, certificate of migratory movements for both the foreigner and their Colombian spouse. Now, it is important to note that all official documents must be less than 90 days old at the time of application. It is very common for applicants to receive requests for additional documentation for the marriage visa. These are so common that we have our clients start to prepare them ahead of time because we know these additional requirements are coming. Very similarly to other marriage visas around the world, the government entity is going to ask you to prove your relationship. Typically, proving your relationship involves sending them photos, letters, and a timeline of your relationship. Now, what is the application process? The government entity legally has 30 days to respond to your application after you apply. We here at Colombian Visa Services typically hear back in a couple of weeks. You'll submit your application and pay around $54 USD for them to study and review your application. The government entity will then get back to you with requests for additional information in some cases. The government entity has the right to ask for any additional information that they deem necessary as part of your application, and sometimes these additional requirements can have a time limit. Then your visa will either be approved, denied, or given an inadmitted decision. If your visa is approved, they will let you know that it is time to pay your visa fee. This government fee is about $270 USD. The Cancellaria's website can be buggy and difficult to use, so you'll need to be patient throughout the entire process. Now, what about your visa renewal? Unfortunately, there is no magic button that you can push to simply get a new visa. To renew your visa, the process will be exactly the same as your original application with the same documents and requirements. The only thing that is different about your renewal is that you'll be including your current visa and cedula for your application. Now, what's the path to a resident visa and citizenship through the marriage visa? The marriage visa will be granted for 1 to 3 years at a time. To apply for a resident visa, you'll need to hold the marriage visa for 3 consecutive years. That means that if you hold the visa for 2 years, let it expire, and then apply again, your time resets. You need to hold the visa for 3 consecutive years. Now, a resident visa is granted for 5 years at a time. After you obtain your resident visa, you will need to hold the resident visa for 2 consecutive years. So in summary, after 3 years on a migrant visa and 2 years on a resident visa, for a total of 5 years, you'll be able to apply for dual citizenship in Colombia. I hope this clears up any confusion you may have had about the Colombian marriage visa. If you'd like any assistance with your marriage or the marriage visa process, or even bringing your spouse to the United States, we are here to help. We have an amazing team of bilingual immigration attorneys here at Colombian Visa Services who are specialized in cases just like yours.